Sunday, January the 22nd, 2012, and I'm down in northeast Kent, just on the fringes of Canterbury, doing free walk 121, I believe it is, Bekesbourne Circular. Well, that's the title of the walk, but I'm actually going to try the suggested anti-clockwise Sturry start, just simply because Sturry, I believe, looking at the train times and what have you, is easier to reach. So I've got the HST down from St Pancras to Ashford, and then a local train up to Sturry. Seems to be some kind of engineering works, I think, on the Bekesbourne branch today. But anyway, I'll try this version, see how we get on. Once again, I've been blessed with the weather, albeit it's a bit windy, which may interfere with the sound recording, but not to worry. Delightful so far. It's about 11:30. Got about 11 miles to walk, and I need to be back on that 5 to 5 train. And of course, today is North London versus Manchester in the football. Fingers crossed. And as with last week's walk, immediately opposite the station there's a cost cutter, so that's handy for those that need to stock up with picnic supplies, etc. I'm going to turn left here in a minute and aim for the village called Fordwich, which is on the original Bekesbourne walk, but probably around 3/4 of the way round. Information board here telling us that the countryside around Sturry is a land of lakes and marshes. So there you have it, 10 minutes in, just about to enter Britain's smallest town apparently. Also connected with the Sank ports. There's the church over there in the distance. Lots of former mining pits on this walk today apparently, and a collection of the UK's largest reed beds by all accounts. Information board here in Fordwich about something called the St Augustine Trail. A monk from Rome back in 597 AD was in Kent. Fantastic carved wooden pub sign that is. Don't know if you can read it, but it says Fordwich Arms. It's just in front of the church here. I'm trying to find the church stroke town hall as per the map to head south from another angle. So from the church, once you get there, you turn right, and I believe we're going to be following the Store Valley walk, and we're headed down School Lane here on the left. Through a metal swing gate and on towards a youthful plantation there. Come through a second swing gate, still on the Store Valley path, and here's the youthful plantation on the right, which obviously won't be very youthful as time progresses. In by the proximity of the water on my left here, I might well have taken the path on the map that's too close to the reservoirs. It shouldn't make too much of an issue though, because it does join up later with the path that I should be on. Anyway, not evident earlier on where the correct path was, if I am on the wrong one. Okay, now I'm at these gates next to the B road, underneath the T of Trenley Park. I've taken that footpath through Trenley Park Wood. I'm now going to cross this road, join up with the path on the map just to the left of W of Wood, and follow that down to join up hopefully with the path I should be on. Clearly somewhere in Fordwich I missed the turn in to get on the correct path, which is a shame because that obviously won't get on film now. Not to worry. Map does show this clearing under the word wood on the map, so I know I'm on that footpath. I believe my onward route is that way, as opposed to down this muddy lane here, which isn't shown on the map. Number of timber trails on here that aren't shown on the map. Very muddy, as you can see. So I'm back on track here. Should have come from that direction, clearly. There's an old bit of agricultural equipment behind me here on the path that I have taken, but now I'm back on course. All should be well. About to follow the yellow footpath marker into Aldridge Wood, as opposed to that faint path on my right. Just come through the clearing on the map, followed by a load of horses. Now, having let those horses, all 5 of them, overtake me, footpath is now churned up a bit. Not sure they should be on this path anyway. Isn't indicated as a bridle way, although they tell me otherwise after my protestations. Delightful little wood this is. Looks like yeah, what is that? Hazel, perhaps. Certainly a supple tree. Having just crossed this B road, could have done with a squeeze gate over there to stop those horses getting in, I reckon. There's certainly one here on my right, so there must be a history of these horses encroaching on areas where they shouldn't be. Now about to head towards the first of the 2 reservoirs on the map, beneath Aldridge Wood on the map. Passing the first of the 2 small lakes marked on the map. Okay, just past the second reservoir on the map, 0.7. And there's a mobile phone mast, which is clearly visible from a distance, that isn't marked on the map. Anyway, at least I know I'm on track. It's now 12:30 for the timekeepers, so I've been walking around 50 minutes. The woodland path leading to the A257 at 0.8. Very quiet in here, which doesn't bode well for the weather. Probably going to rain soon. Hope not though. At least not before I'm out of here. Right, having just crossed that rather busy A road with a blind corner where the footpaths intersect, be careful of that. We now have a typical Kentish orchard scene at Hewlett's Animal Farm. Just above that on the map anyway. Rather interesting barn. With some great nesting spots. My goodness, look at those wasted apples. Terrible. Still, keeps the field fares and redwings happy. There you go. My first sighting of snowdrops this year. All the conditions must just be right in there. Having a bit of a trouble finding the path now, having gone past the farmhouse. Not clear at all. 1:15, I'm back in Bekesbourne. Just reached the well, could be a tea stop or a lunchtime stop depending on which walk you do, but this is the Unicorn in Bekesbourne. I should be pressing on to find a church as usual. Lunch served Sundays 12 to 5, £9 for a roast. Okay, I'm now back at the beginning of the original walk. Junction here with Bekesbourne Hill and Lane. So henceforth I should be able to follow some of the instructions, such as they are, and get back on track. Into the text, I should have a tall evergreen windbreak here on my right, but clearly it's not evergreen. Might have been at the time of writing, but certainly not now. Either that or I'm on the wrong track. Okay, having come through the orchard somehow and the smell of rotting apples everywhere, I now find myself back on track, because over there in the distance are the chapel ruins mentioned in the text. So good. Looks like I'm having lunch in Littlebourne, because there's a church there and the sun's back out. Ruin in the sun, and a shot back at where I've just come from, the orchard. Lovely weather now, nice and fresh, bit of a breeze blowing and sunshine. Some of the views to the south west or thereabouts of Littlebourne. Now entering the village of Littlebourne. A number of villages like Littlebourne, Bekesbourne and Patricksbourne named after the nearby river Nailbourne, no doubt. Nice dose conversion there, and a potential picnic spot there, but I'm going to continue to find a church. The Anchor Inn, another potential watering or eating hole. Only does bar food Monday to Saturday though, so that's no good. Well, unless you're doing a Saturday walk, of course. It's about to enter the Church of St Vincent at Littlebourne. Like the Lich Gate was constructed in 1892. The footpath opposite is the way you come to this churchyard. That's across the road over there. Point 3 in the text. There you have it, the Church of St Vincent, without a clock face, so I can't evidence the time, which is approximately 2 o'clock. Next door there you've got an amazing thatch building, 95% thatch roof, 5% wall down below. Wonder what that's for. Undergoing reconstruction at the moment anyway. Okay, the last sunny spot in the churchyard. Just waiting for me over there. and handily placed next to the onward journey as well, through that metal kissing gate. Perfect. Well, this is unusual because today's lunchtime spot has been dedicated by 3 people. The Rains family. Frank, Janet, Mary and Ellen Catherine. Frank dying in 1990, Janet 97 and Ellen in 97. Rest in peace, eh? And thanks very much for the chair. What a lovely serene place this is, eh? Okay, 2:30, lunch has been had, and more snowdrops in this delightful little churchyard. Right, 2.5 hours to get back to Sturry. It's going to be touch and go, but I need to do it. Half time at Man City, 0-0 with Spurs. That's not good. Fingers crossed for City victory. Following the footpath to Bekesbourne, and apparently we've got to be careful of herbicide spray. Just seen a crafty magpie sitting on the back of a sheep, but before I could film it, it flew off, unfortunately. Would have been an amusing shot. Luckily there was 2 of them with the football in mind. Hawk in action, possibly a sparrowhawk, I'm not sure. Gone. Church at Bekesbourne in the distance. Interesting, you've got a mill house, the church and an oast house, all in close proximity here at Bekesbourne, which I assume is the local way of saying it, I don't know. Another good old solid church. Weather vane at the top there indicating a chill easterly wind, which we have today. Temperature's certainly dropping now. That mill house has been converted into flats, like so many today. The Rose Inn, Bekesbourne, another possible tea time spot. Path branches off from Bekesbourne, just opposite this lovely, recently thatched cottage here. Look at that, magnificent, made out of wood. But that cost a few bob. A lovely house from another angle. Walking between points 5 and 6 on the map, and you've got masses of this vitriculture by the looks of it. It's not organic though. Again, freshly sprayed with herbicide. I noticed warning signs. So, point 6 of the text, and the text has been written relatively recently because it's walk 121. It's been a diversion already. So what was a field when the author wrote the text is now full of these vitriculture stands. Anyway, let's see how clearly marked the route is henceforth, and if it puts us out too much. Point 6 of the text, looking back at the field, I'm stood by the traffic sign on the outskirts of Stodmarsh. The sun is getting low and I'm up against the clock. So 3:30, an hour and a half before my train, we've just hit Stodmarsh. Also interestingly, Balotelli has just won it for Man City in the 95th minute. So those two Magpies were so far good. Now let's see what they can do for the Arsenal. Another church Oast House combination. This church has been extended. This is the Church of St Mary in Stodmarsh, and that is ancient, isn't it? Look at that tower. Red Lion Stodmarsh, another possible tea eating stop. Views down over Stodmarsh. Nice little village it is as well. In the very distance over there, that nuclear power station. Forget which one that is. Not Dungeness, but the other one. No, name escapes me. What contrast the scenery, eh? Only about 28 metres high here, according to the map. Down on Westbere Marshes, over there in the distance. Views back across the estate where I was earlier. Typical Kentish scenery, eh? Exiting the field that we entered back down near Stodmarsh. Still on the Stour Valley walk. Very sight that tree is. Sunset falling rapidly. 10 minutes to go before kick-off. Looking back towards Sturry. Rejoining the Stour Valley walk again. Having done a fair bit of road walking just now. It's okay though, because it was a quiet road. Views of the marshes from a point near Hyams Farm on the map. Amazing to think this was a mining area once, and these reservoir lakes and the remnants of that. Clever the way they've filled it in. Mining up to 20 years ago, I believe. Into Trenley Park Wood just before dusk as well. Hyams Farm over there on my right. You have tree felling going on here. Quite a muddy footpath as well. It's alright though. Walk on the middle section. Further views down on the lakes. Wish I could remember what these trees are. Creaking in the background there. Imagine walking through here at night, getting that noise. Walking back along the section I started on this morning, back into Fordwich. Beautiful song thrush song. Lovely to hear. Just entering Sturry again. So 4:30, back at Sturry. So yeah, it's about 5 hours later. Lovely walk that. A little bit confusing at the beginning. Even on the way back I couldn't identify that path that I should have been on first thing. Not to worry, got there in the end, and starting at Sturry is a good alternative, I reckon. As I say, I think it's more accessible than Bekesbourne. So, as there's songbirds singing all around me, lovely day's walking. Sorry, that's not book anything, it's free walk 121 completed. All 10.5 miles of it officially, though as a result of my deviations I make it 12.5, which would probably equate to the time taken as well. Anyway, a lovely day's walking, well worth the extra money on the HST to get down here.